After weeks of silence, my firefighter husband finally called. He said, "They're making us steak tonight." My husband Jake had been deployed with his wildfire crew to the Carson Ridge fire for 3 weeks. Communication was spotty at best. I'd get a text here, a quick call there, always rushed, always ending with, "I love you, gotta go." So when my phone rang and I saw his name, I practically dove across the kitchen to answer. "Hey baby," he said, and I could hear exhaustion in his voice, but something else too. Something I couldn't identify. "They're making us steak tonight. Real nice ones. The whole crew." I laughed, relieved just to hear him. "That's amazing. You guys deserve it after everything." There was a pause. Too long. "Jake?" Another pause. "Yeah, I'm here. Just wanted to hear your voice. Tell me about your day. Everything. Don't leave anything out." So I did. I told him about the kids' soccer practice, about the leak in the bathroom I couldn't fix, about his mother calling to complain about her neighbors again. Normal stuff. Boring stuff. He listened to every word like I was reading him poetry. After we hung up, I called my sister-in-law Karen to share the good news. Karen's husband Paul was on the same crew as Jake. They'd been best friends since the academy, always requested the same deployments. "Karen," Jake finally called. "They're getting steak dinners tonight. Can you believe it?" The line went dead silent. Then I heard a sound I'd never heard from Karen before. A sob. Raw and broken. "Karen? What's wrong?" She couldn't answer. Just kept crying. I heard Paul's voice in the background asking what happened. Karen choked out. "She doesn't know." Jake called. "They're getting steak." Paul got on the phone. His voice was shaking. "Listen to me. Where are the kids right now?" My blood went cold. "They're at my mom's for the night." "Paul, what is happening?" He took a deep breath. "I'm coming over. Don't call anyone else. Don't go online. Just wait for me." Paul arrived in 20 minutes. His eyes were red. He sat me down at the kitchen table and held both my hands. "In wildfire crews, when they serve steak dinners, it's not a reward." He stopped. Started again. "It's what they do before a burnover operation." I didn't understand the word. "What's a burnover?" Paul's jaw tightened. "It's when a fire moves too fast to escape. When crews have to deploy their shelters and hope the fire passes over them." My hands started shaking. "But they wouldn't send them into something like that on purpose." Paul looked at the table. "Carson Ridge jumped the containment line 12 hours ago. It's heading toward Millbrook. 3,000 people, including a hospital and 2 schools. They can't evacuate in time." He finally met my eyes. "Someone has to hold the line long enough for those people to get out." I called Jake back immediately. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Voicemail. Again. Again. Each time, his voice saying, "You've reached Jake. Leave a message." I left 12 messages, some begging him to call, some just crying. One where I said nothing at all, just breathed, hoping he'd hear it and know I was there. Paul stayed with me all night. Karen came over. We watched the news together, saw aerial footage of the fire, a wall of orange consuming everything in its path. The reporter mentioned the heroic crews holding the eastern flank. That was Jake. At 3 a.m., Karen made coffee nobody drank. At 4 a.m., Paul started pacing. At 5 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I couldn't answer. Karen took it from me and put it on speaker. A voice I didn't recognize said, "Mrs. Mitchell, this is Battalion Chief Torres. Your husband wanted me to call you personally." The chief's voice cracked on the next words. "Your husband and his crew held their position for 6 hours. They saved Millbrook. All 3,000 residents, including 142 patients in the hospital and 86 children in the elementary school, evacuated safely because your husband bought them time." I was screaming. I don't remember starting. Karen was holding me. Paul was on his knees. "Mrs. Mitchell, Jake was found in his shelter. He'd written something on the interior. We wanted you to know before you hear it anywhere else." I couldn't speak. Chief Torres continued. He wrote, "Tell her the steak was good. Tell her I thought about her voice the whole time. Tell her I'd do it again. Tell the kids their dad loved them more than fire loves oxygen." I collapsed. The phone dropped. I heard the chief say there would be honors, medals, ceremonies. I heard the words hero and sacrifice and never forgotten. None of it meant anything. My husband had called to hear my voice one last time, and I talked about a bathroom leak. They recovered Jake's body 2 days later. In his turnout coat pocket was a photo of me and the kids, edges burned, our faces still visible. On the back, in his handwriting, "This is why." The funeral had 400 firefighters from 12 states. The governor spoke. The president sent a letter. My 6-year-old daughter asked why daddy was sleeping in a fancy box. My 8-year-old son hasn't spoken since the cemetery. Millbrook renamed their elementary school after Jake. The kids who evacuated that night made a banner that said, "Thank you for saving us." It hangs in our living room now. Some days I can look at it, most days I can't. He called to say goodbye, and I told him about his mother's neighbors. I'd give anything to have talked about something that mattered.